Then the priest pulls up, just fucking shoots him with a gun.
Oh my god! Although I have to admit, where did priests get the fucking gun? Guns are banned in Japan. Like, it's so random.
The Yakuza.
Oh, okay. You saying the priest showed up in the Yakuza and picked up a gun?
Yeah, he went to the Yakuza and was like, one gun, please.
Okay.
Listen, I played like 7 Yakuza games. I know how it works.
I'm just saying, I fucking love it though, seeing a fucking religious guy just pulls out a fucking gun and shoots somebody. I'm like, hell yeah, dude.
I just want I want to watch Orange go illegally buy drugs now.
Hello, I would like one of your finest drugs, please.
That's so good.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of My First Anime, The Devil is a Part-Timer. I'm Chris Bailey.
I'm Salvador, also known as Monkey.
And I'm Anthony Vaught.
We are picking up on episode 5 and going through 9 this week. Oh, quick personal anime update. I finished what's available on Netflix for Great Pretender. That show's cool.
Oh, it's cut up.
They're missing 9 episodes for some reason.
Fuck Netflix, dude. I fucking hate that fucking place.
Apparently it's on Netflix Japan, but not US. But that show's cool.
You hold Netflix is raising up the prices?
Are they again? Are they really?
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing about. And I'm hoping they fix the fucking anime section because it's fucking garbage.
Yeah, there's a lot of trash anime in there. 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim on the PS4. It's about high school kids and robots and time travel and kaiju. I'm probably about a third of the way through and it's real good. Check it out if you like visual novels or Vanillaware.
I actually don't. I know what visual novels is. I don't know what Vanillaware is.
It's a game dev.
Oh, okay.
It's got Evangelion vibes if it wasn't trash.
Oh my god. What happened to the
Oh
the
wait,
band?
Shit! I'm going to anime jail. You can talk now.
Just an update. This matters fucking zero. But remember last episode when I told you guys that I had to like dive to find the Devil is a Part-Timer in my Netflix search because there was like a 60-something% match.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, after watching 4 episodes, all anime is now popped into my recommended at like 98%, just like that.
Are you gonna start watching a bunch of different animes?
Probably not anytime soon. Depends on like because I love fresh perspectives on everything.
Okay.
So I don't want to watch something and you guys be like, let's watch this. And I'll be like, fuck.
Yeah, you already watched it.
So I might watch some stuff that we probably can't get to on the show, like something that's like...
Hentai.
Yeah, hentai, exactly. There's some real good characterizations in that.
I wouldn't mind talking about hentai.
Well, maybe if we hit 10,000 patrons.
Yeah, 10,000, we'll do a hentai
We'll do a
episode.
hentai.
10,000 patrons or $10,000 in our Patreon?
Whichever comes first.
Yeah,
okay.
Fucking whatever.
We will let the person who pushes us over 10,000 pick the hentai.
Yeah, please no Bible Black because I heard that's new garbage and it's not good. So
Anyway, carry on.
I forgot what my train of thought was before you said hentai.
You're not going to watch stuff that we probably...
I
might
would watch stuff that like kind of goes into like, you know, either it's like a 50 episode season or something like that, or it's got like 7 seasons or something.
Yeah.
that works.
So I might hop into like the classics that you guys talk about, like
Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist. Yeah, that's probably the
Yeah,
top
that's
of my
still
list.
one I would love to do, but I think it'd be a long way off if we did it. So if
Yeah.
you watched it on your own, I wouldn't be upset. Any personal anime updates, Monkey?
No, I'm working way too much. I can't really watch anime right now. It's such a sad life. Where I'm at though is I'm in God of High School. I'm still in the middle of that, and I'm also watching. It's like Kaguma no Sama or something like that. It's about an anime about a boy and a girl who really likes each other, but they're so what's it called? They want to be the person who is in control of the relationship, so they don't want to tell each other they like them because
That sounds awful.
Yeah, that sounds miserable.
All right. Let's jump into episode 5 of The Devil's a Part-Timer. Good news, guys. I did my time to get down to business hand slap on my notebook, and I did not unplug my microphone this time.
Look at you.
Episode 5, The Demon King and the Hero Save Sasazuka. We open up right where we left off with them confronting Lucifer after he just blew up like a bunch of stuff.
I got a quick side note on the beginning of the opening or whatever.
Yeah.
I keep watching it most of the time. I think I've only skipped it like once. And when he airs out the boxers, gets me every fucking time. Like the little twingle that comes off on the boxer. Yeah. God, best waifu.
Oh my gosh, dude! I'm so glad you're learning the anime weebs terms.
The nomenclature.
The nomenclature of this
best waifu, bro.
Beautiful society. Beautiful.
LCL is definitely top tier waifu.
Maybe in this anime, yeah, you're right about that.
Pretty much all anime. LCL's pretty up there.
I'm just saying the girl that shows up later on, she can cook.
We'll talk about it.
We'll get there. Listen, LCL's gonna take care of me. You know who's not gonna take care of you? Lucifer.
Good segue.
Yeah, he's up there. We get a little cut back to the people floating through the gate, in case you forgot about them. And surprise, surprise, Lucifer's doing his whole "I'm here to kill you" thing. And guess what? He's friends with the high priest.
Yeah, have we met Olba Mayer?
No, he was supposed to come through the portal with Amelia, and then she's like, "Oh, I lost him."
Yeah.
Well, I think what happened is he showed up later on. I don't think he went with Amelia because there's no way he got Lucifer. So I think they showed up later on before, like he didn't go with the portal with Amelia. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I think he's just opened up another portal.
Yeah. I just didn't know his name at all.
And leading up to one of my favorite bits in this batch of episodes, Olba Mayer, or whatever his name is out there giving his big evil guy speech of how, well, we teamed up because we're going to get rid of both of you in the church and all that. And Mao interrupts him, being like, this is a shitty B movie plot. I've seen this a million times. And then LCL's like, wait, hold up.
Sir.
You spent money on a movie? And they basically just start bickering in the background while Lucifer and the high priest are like, well, God damn it. You ruined our speech.
And is this the part where basically Olba basically says that like he just wants to kill Maria because he has way too much weight? And Kanto, is that later on?
I think he pretty much says that here, or if not, if it's established somewhere in here, because he doesn't get a lot of screen time.
Yeah.
But yeah, he basically says, oh, well, because we want to struggle for power or whatever, but if we have this hero running around, she could basically play Avatar and unite people or whatever.
Yeah, so he can actually do some good instead of following all plans.
They make you like the devil a lot, or they make you like Mao a lot.
Oh, Mao, yeah. Well, it's funny because like you have to remember every system is corrupt in some way. Well, Mao's like whole thing is he wants to conquer. You know what I'm saying? And you realize that the humans don't have it right either. Like everybody's in the wrong.
No, I'm not talking about anything with that. I'm just saying the writers have written Mao's character to make me like him more than you should like a king demon.
Well, he doesn't act like one is the thing.
Yeah, I think that's because he doesn't act evil at all.
Yeah.
Although there are scenes where they just show how evil he is, like how deceptively evil he is. But then the scene cuts back and you're like, oh no, he's just doing a normal thing. Okay.
Yeah, I just got done watching 9, so
yeah.
The over dramatic fight between SFC and
Yeah. While they're bickering, Lucifer starts shooting at him. He blasts a hole through LCL, and with his dying breath, he says, listen, if you're going to rent movies, please do it on the discount day.
And the first half of the month. That's what he said, like the first half of the month.
That's so fucking funny. Oh, his dying breath, you told him to be more frugal.
Well, if you remember, he is the Army's most resourceful general.
But that's the dying breath.
Yeah, LCL continues to be my favorite character through this run of episodes.
Yeah, he went up in my book.
And Mao's like, don't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Why he picks up his friend.
Lucifer's attacking them. We learn that if it wasn't clear from last week, by creating, well, I guess they didn't make it so much clear, but human despair basically generates magic.
I'm going to step on my soapbox here.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say from the previous anime we've watched, I think this is how you do it. I think you show them getting powers and they're like, I don't know what's going on. And then you make some just simple, It doesn't have to be explained in detail or in depth to like doubly confuse you. Just something simple that people can just go, oh, okay, and then you move the fuck on.
I completely agree. I am a very big fan of playing within the rules of the universe that is presented to me, and this is very much the kind of show that says this is how it works and then waves its hands and moves on, and I'm perfectly okay with that.
So far, I very much enjoy it.
If it wanted me to like actually care about it, like if it made its rules a sticking point, then we'd have a problem. But considering literally everything is just that's how it works, I don't know.
It's also a comedy, but yeah.
Yeah. It's nice to touch base with how it works, and then as long as like you said, as long as everyone plays by those rules, you don't have to re-question it.
Yep. We get a little bit of they try to run away with Mao carrying LCL, and he basically says like, yeah, I actually kind of like being human. This world's fun and interesting. And speaking of rules and playing, yeah, go ahead.
It's funny though, he's running and Amelia is running with him, and she's like, oh, good plan running running with your tail between your legs.
She's just like, they're a fucking married couple this whole scene.
Yeah, exactly.
They're just bickering the whole fucking time, even while he's saving people. She's like, you're not doing it right.
I have to say, I am 0% invested in his relationship with any of the female characters.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I think he is 0% invested.
Sure, but the show keeps pushing it, and I'm so not interested in the like...
I want to talk about that, since we brought it up.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we obviously, me and you haven't seen it. Sal has. So this is kind of without spoilers and anything. But the writers were like, all right, everyone's going to ask, like, what is that? Like, how are these two so, why are they always so close, but yet there's no physical attraction between them?
Uh-huh.
And truthfully, I have not been pushed into a direction of where I don't think she jealously likes him. And I think he's asexual right now. He is not like went googly eyed or anything about any of the other girls yet.
I mean, he is a demon.
Yeah, sure. But the show keeps writing it in, and it's almost like they know, like they're saying, he's not interested in these women. He'll be friends with them. They're cool. They're all serving purposes. But so far, it's like, this is the first time that they're like, no, we're going to keep writing as if everyone's jealous of this guy, which, I mean, a couple of them are, but he's not acting on any of it, and the main female character also isn't acting on it, in my opinion. What do you guys think about that?
So for kind of to your point, I don't think at this point, like, Amelia explicitly is interested in him. I think she's definitely conflicted. Whether or not it's romantic I could take arguments either way. I think it will absolutely develop, whether in the series or later in the like light novels, the stuff that's not adapted, into her having romantic feelings for him. Whether he reciprocates them or not, I don't know. If he doesn't, and it just becomes like shitty anime harem tropes of every girl was into him and he couldn't give less of a crap, then whatever. I think there is a way to play that. This isn't it. And like I said, I guess it just at this point in terms of their relationship, it's fine to have that stuff. It would be fine to have her like even explicitly interested and him kind of doing the same thing as he is with Chiho, where he just doesn't care. But when it takes up so much of that character's time and so much of that character's being hinges around their relationship with him, to keep hitting those same notes, especially when I'm not invested in it, is just so uninteresting to me.
So do you think that she's conflicted romantically right now, or do you think she's conflicted more? Is he actually good or evil, or is there a difference between the two?
I think it's more the I think it's more the latter. Like I said, I would, if someone wanted to argue that she is not currently romantically interested in him, I would say fine. I would hear that argument.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's kind of where I'm
at
at the moment.
I do think, honestly, like, especially knowing how characterization in like anime tends to go, it's pretty clear that if there isn't romantic feelings there, there's going to be later.
And then my other question I had, when you said you were kind of like uninterested in the like every woman going for him thing, I don't know if you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, but this after we find the reverse Etsukai, am I saying that right? Isekai. After the reverse Isekai thing, it pretty much like becomes very much a slice of life, right? And this would be the first one I've ever seen anything about.
Well, I would say this is a little less slice of life. There's a lot more like plot and exposition than I had anticipated.
Okay.
And less of them doing mundane things with no real purpose.
I do love it when they do that, though. Like,
yes, agreed.
It brings like a joy to my heart.
Gotcha. So I was just kind of like, I was just wondering more like, I'm imagining the sitcom Friends slice of life shit.
Are you trying to ask if like the all the girls are interested in the main guy is a slice of life trope?
Well, yeah, kind of, yeah.
Kind of, yeah. That's what's called harem. Like your OG example would be like Tenchi Muyo, where you have all these girls that are typically, some of them are magical in nature or ancient dragons or whatever, and there's like anywhere from like 5 to like 12 of them, and they're all interested in this average guy who's just kind of bland and boring, and he's not interested in any. Typically he's interested in like the equally bland and boring friend from high school. But yeah, harem is definitely a trope, and I could see that this is maybe playing in that space, but if it is, it's not doing anything creative or interesting with it.
Well, I'm gonna say right now, let's go. This is based on a light novel, which I think we talked about last week. And light novels, one of the main tropes is like harems, basically. Like the main character just gets all the girls for like no reason. He just gets all the girls, and this is how it is in like a bunch of light novels.
Gotcha.
And so this one is not the exception. This is just a really fun anime, which is why I picked it out.
And I was just kind of asking all that to kind of determine whether or not I should get my hopes up and say that like it's not going to be the same as what we've kind of seen, because I feel like even in the anime that should not be named, everyone was going for the main guy.
Yep.
For the and like you're right, it's uninteresting after a point, and I didn't know if I should expect more of that or if there's like a.
I bet we're gonna get more of that.
I'm just basically getting my expectations in check, I guess, with that question.
I'm gonna say with Evangelion, I'm gonna say it's a little bit different because all the girls was not basically going for Shinji. Like I wouldn't say they was. I mean, we knew Oscar, but Oscar had a problem with like she just wanted to be loved.
I mean, yeah, you're right. It was different reasons, but it was still like the same thing.
But no, I'm just saying with Evangelion, the problem with Evangelion is the fact that we did not get enough character development for them to actually like Shinji. You get what I'm saying?
Yep, and actually, you hit exactly on my problem with this relationship. I don't feel like Amelia, without her proximity to Mao, is enough of a character for this relationship to be interesting.
What do you think about Chiho?
I don't like Chiho at all.
Okay, I think it's fine. I mean, it just seems like they both work together and she eventually got feelings.
I accept her infatuation with Mao, but I'm kind of like, all right, yeah, let's just
it's
going.
like, okay, Chiho's doing this again.
And then like when it comes up, like as long as they don't brag on it and stuff, like it's nice. It makes me laugh sometimes. Especially when she like fucking like.
I love when she goes chibi form.
Yeah, and then like, but we'll touch on the other thing I don't like about this when we meet the third female character.
Yeah, okay. I think so too. But we got a lot of that out of the way, so it should shorten some later conversations. Yeah. But anyway, they're running away with LCL, and Lucifer has captured Chiho and is using her as like a magical battery somehow.
Yep. I mean, come on, it makes sense.
Does it?
Chiyo's just super dispelled because he realized her man is from another universe, and
honestly, she seems pretty alright with it. Also, she hasn't learned that yet.
Yeah,
she's pretty cool with it.
Yeah, he's chasing them around, shooting at them. He wings Mao. Then the priest pulls up.
Just fucking
shoots him with a gun. Oh my god!
Although I have to admit, where did priests get the fucking gun? Guns are banned in Japan. Like, it's so random.
The Yakuza.
Oh, Okay, you saying the priest showed up in the Yakuza and picked up a gun?
Yeah, he went to the Yakuza and was like, 1 gun, please.
Okay.
Listen, I played like 7 Yakuza games. I know how
I'm
it
just
works.
saying, I fucking love it though, seeing a fucking religious guy just pulls out a fucking gun and shoots somebody. I'm like, hell yeah, dude.
I just want I want to watch Orange go illegally buy drugs now.
Hello, I would like one of your finest drugs, please.
That's so good. Okay, let's get on with this.
Mao comes up with the plan to teleport back to the crowded place. And Amelia's like, what are you doing? Why did you do that?
For
and
an
then he gets
ambulance?
lasered through the chest. Lucifer, thinking he's won, goes to...
I have a question.
Yeah.
So, I forget. I don't know if this is this scene, but did Mao say, "Oh, I don't mind being in a human body," and then he gets like shot or something like that, and he's like,
Yeah, it's
ow, that hot stuff. Like, why am I in this human body or something like that? Like, I just think that was just a hilarious line.
Oh, yeah, because he gets shot. He's like, oh, man, I didn't realize human bodies were so fragile. And I think of you, it was like, what? Yes, you did. Which I'm glad she called him out on, because, like, bruh, how much time did you spend conquering humans?
Yeah, well, he also says, Mao does say to Amelia that this world has done a lot for me, so he doesn't want to ruin it, which I think is really, like, a very interesting thing, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I guess I can kind of see that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, in this world that, like, Mao is like, oh, yeah, I'm fine with this world. This world is, like, this world is dope. Last world, like, it fucking screwed me over. Over here, though?
Well...
Well, what?
We don't really know much about who did the screwing over in that world.
Oh.
It could be argued that he was the one doing the screwing over of that world.
Random question, you think the humans just let demons go?
No, but again, like, we don't know enough, and as I've said before, if you're going to call someone the Demon King, there's connotations that come with that.
In our point of view, they didn't let them go. He just left.
No, I was talking about before the war.
Oh, we have nothing to know about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, Lucifer goes and blows up the highway, but it freezes in midair.
What?
And Jacked Mao is back.
Well, no. So Mao teleports to a crowded place, and fucking Amelia yells at him, and she's like, "Oh, you just over here so you can catch an ambulance?" She yells at that to Mao, and I'm just like, "Oh my gosh." Anyway, do you guys understand the plan why Mao teleported, or do you guys needed
Yeah,
to
because he
describe
wants
it?
magic.
Yeah. Did you understand, Anthony?
I mean, this is where he explains it, I think.
No, he explains a little bit later.
Oh, no, I thought he was trying to get closer to home.
No, he went to where, like, I think pretty close, if not exactly where the earthquakes previously had happened, so there's still plenty of, like, despair in that area that he could use to fuel his magic.
And you caught up on that, too?
Yes.
They did not mention shit about this.
Well, the Lucifer at the beginning of the episode mentions the despair.
Oh, yeah,
fueling
yeah.
magic. So then he
Yeah.
teleports back to Suzuhara or Sasuzuka, whatever.
Okay, yeah, I knew despair fueled it, but I didn't really care why he went here.
Yeah, it was just a crowded place, so he could get as much magic as he could.
Which brings me to a point. We kind of see him doing his whole slice of life stuff, and these decisions when it comes to battle time are actually very intelligent for the most part.
Oh, Mao is an intelligent motherfucker. I mean, we realized that in the very first episode, how smart he is.
Yeah, I would hope so if he was the Demon King.
Yeah, but it seems like we only see that like cunningness come out when like he actually needs it. So it's not like he's hiding it, but I don't know. He's just like playing house, you know?
Yeah.
Because he wants to be a human.
I think he's just really good with, like, I wouldn't say military tactics, but like tactics. You know what I'm saying? Like gathering information, stuff like that.
Period. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has Alcio to worry about money.
Yes.
Absolutely. But I just think that he's smarter than either they. I kind of want to know if he's smarter than like we see, or is he smarter than like everyone sees? If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because Amelia always talks about
gotcha.
how cunning he is and stuff like that, and LCL's always like, "You're a genius, sir." But like, I was just wondering, like, is he smarter than what? Like, yeah, it's hard to gauge, and it may be a dumb question, but I think it'd be interesting to find out.
I'm just saying, we realize in next few episodes that he's when he's in battle with the other restaurant, he's not that smart into the very end. But interesting question I gotta ask though. So Mao is shot dead, right?
Uh-huh.
And what's it called? Well, he's shot dead with quotation marks. We don't really know he's dead or not. Apparently, demons have more than one heart. But
Uh-huh.
If Lucifer did not fuck up these fucking civilians, would Mao be dead? What do you guys think?
Probably not.
No? Okay.
He just wouldn't have been able to power up.
Okay.
I mean, it could have been, but then it would just be the anime would have been over.
I know this is a stupid question, but did you guys really think Mao died right now?
No.
No.
Okay. I was just asking. That's all. You guys calm down.
Don't ask such a stupid question ever again.
God, you're so dumb.
My bad.
I thought it would have been really interesting though if he would have died and then some like little kid just comes out and be like, I'm the Demon King now, and then now it's all him.
Or a little kid comes up and she starts crying and she revive him with hotels.
I would have turned it off.
Yeah, I know. It would have been. Oh, this. Can't wait to write an anime with you, Chris. You're gonna so fucking like we can't do that. We already said on page 32 that this thing on 35 cannot happen. You're fucking idiot.
Jacked Mao, he slowly starts to drop it, like it's slowly coming down because it's heavy.
But yeah, so Mao is controlling the fucking what do you call it, the bridge, and then Emilia is fucking spacing out, and Mao calls Emilia on it. He's like, don't space out now. Like, I'm holding up a fucking bridge, Emilia. Can you do something here? Which is so funny.
Yeah, they're still. Mom and Dad are still fighting.
She powers up. I'm a little disappointed we didn't get a full magical girl transformation here.
Oh, really, dude? Come on, dude. She's a magical girl. She's a fucking shoujo.
He wanted full dark magician girl.
Dude, I do not care. I will take a magical girl transformation wherever I can get it.
Okay.
They're always so fun. But she gets her just the greaves, no full armor. Her long white hair and her sword, gets ready to go after Lucifer. He shoots a single shot, which he immediately deflects into Mao's face.
There was some funny moments beforehand, though. I think Emilia says the devil is so lame. Like, I think he says something, and he's like, oh, you're just so lame. And then Mao's like, oh, cool line when Emilia transforms. But Emilia says some kind of cool line, and I was like, oh, cool line. They're not afraid of, we call it breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah.
It's not breaking the fourth wall, but calling out, like, tropes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, this next bit especially is definitely, like, clearly being parody.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we go into a full-on DBZ fight.
Oh, it's so good, this fight. I like this fight.
Where, Lucifer and Emilia just do a bunch of random nonsense slashes at each other before Emilia gets kicked away. LCL comes back to reinforce or to help Emilia, but he had to go back to the apartment to pick up his cape.
It's so good. I fucking love that. That's one of my favorite scenes. We have a buddy named Jairo Hiro, and he has watched this anime, and he says this is his favorite line in the entire show.
It's very good.
I had to go back and get my cape.
He says it with like such confidence and intensity too. He's not like meek about it. He's like, I had to go get my cape.
Yeah, I think we haven't. I mean, we mentioned them, but we haven't like given props. I like the voice acting in this a lot.
Yeah, it's good.
It's like the over dramaticness of it is pretty fucking fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of good animation too. I think Emilia especially has a ton of great facial animations and facial expressions. Oh, we did skip that Mao makes a magical barrier, which is another one of those things that they just hand waves like, I made a barrier, so go nuts. We're like, okay.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like a bullshit moment, but you're like, fuck it. This is a comedy anime, and I'm having fun, so I'm not gonna.
They had to give us a reason not to be like, but what about the city?
Yeah,
and that's and they did it. That's fine. I accept it.
Yeah, exactly.
They just have a laser fight in the sky from far away before we cut back into Emilia using her laser flame slice. Which, Anthony, I'm not sure if you're aware that in anime, especially shonens, whenever people use their abilities, they have to announce them.
I love that so much. I don't know why, but I just love whenever they announce their attacks.
I watched Naruto for about 50 episodes.
Okay, so you know they have to yell their abilities in order to use them. Okay.
And Dragon Ball Z, yeah.
Which is so stupid, but something I've come to love.
I don't know if you talked about this, but Lucifer is actually yelling at Oba that he needs to help out. And Oba's like, I only have so much celestial force left.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that they're bickering up, though, is just funny.
They end up taking, LCL and Emilia end up taking down Oba, and Mao sets everything down, and Chiho...
Well, I do like this, though, because Mao sets everything down, and he shakes his hands, like saying he's done hard work, which I think is hilarious. I don't know if you guys saw that, but he was shaking his hand.
Oh yeah, he's like, oh man, that was heavy.
Yeah, exactly.
Chiho shows up, realizes it's Mao, because again, this is a very like big anime trope of someone important is about to go off into a dangerous fight, and they always like, oh, I'll don't worry, I won't die because we made this promise or whatever. We're gonna do this together. And his thing to Chiho is, one, we'll be late for work, and two, I promise I show you how to fix the ice cream machine.
So good.
So like low. Usually it's something like, sometimes it is actually that mundane of like, don't worry, I won't die. Then who would you go to the fair with? Or some bullshit like that. Just every anime does it.
I've not seen that many animes do it, but I do like this one.
I think I've even seen a lot of fucking regular TV shows do that.
Yeah. And usually then that person dies probably. Then there's a big explosion, and I think that ends the fight.
Well, it was actually, I kind of like that was my coolest aspect of the fight was when the Demon King like charged his laser up. Well, I mean, I don't know if you guys noted, like they were trying to like, I don't know, because everyone else was just throwing multiple ones, and his like extended outside of even the fucking like the whole magical barrier they put up. It like went miles and miles past that, and then he threw it into Lucifer.
Oh yeah.
Are you talking about the punch?
I don't know, they're little circle beams.
Yeah, Mao charges laser and it goes like way through the city.
Yeah.
Like he makes a giant laser. Yeah. This is the big explosion, fight's over, and they explain to Chiho, like, oh yeah, he's a demon.
Which I like. I hate that fucking trope when we just don't tell one of the characters what the fuck is happening.
Yeah, they basically just explain who they are to Chiho, and she's like, yeah, sure, whatever. Who cares? Those two people come out of the portal, finally, just in time.
Oh, before this, so Oba's tied up, which is kind of funny, and you see Lucifer with puffy cheeks, means that he just got beat up. Because it shows Mao is at work now. And Mao got all his powers back, but he went back to McDonald's. So that's pretty funny. Because we don't know what happened afterwards, we just know that Lucifer and Oba dealt with.
Yeah.
And so we know Mao is at work, and so it gives us a flashback of what happens afterwards. Lucifer took Emilia's wallet because Emilia asked Lucifer, how did you know about my workplace? And he's like, and he shows the wallet, and everybody's giving crap about Lucifer's like, you don't take a woman's wallet, Lucifer. What's wrong with you?
Oh yeah, that doesn't even brought up because that comes back a lot.
Yeah. And then the two guys show up. The two people from Inte Island or whatever it's called.
Yes. And they basically just give us a quick exposition dump of like, oh, hey, the church is maybe bad news. Stuff might be going down on the islands. Mao fixes everything. They explain that so the earthquakes were caused by the sonar pulses, and they were just like pinging around looking for people who were thinking about him a lot.
That's fucking great.
Yeah, this is
And that's why they were happening around Chiho.
Yeah.
Because she freaks out when they say this. And I think we get a brief scene in McDonald's, but I don't think it was anything important. Because I literally just wrote McDonald's.
They did ask if Mao is the Demon King.
Yeah.
And fucking Mao corrects them like with he's like terrible with feel or something. He corrects them and he's like, yeah, I'm like the Demon King. And he flourishes his cape, or Alcel flourishes his cape. Which I just think it's hilarious.
I don't remember this at all.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah. Oh, also something I forgot. Mao did not know that Emilia was half angel. He just thought she was.
Oh yeah, right. Which is that's another good bit. Where he's like, "Huh, I didn't know that." She's like, "God, you're real stupid, aren't you? Like, how did you not know that?"
the girl never knew that Satan was a smooth operator, which is pretty funny.
Hmm.
It was just a conversation they had.
Oh, okay.
And then all of Mao's powers went into rebuilding the whole neighborhood. So he lost all his powers fixing everything back. Yeah, that's all I have for this episode.
Yeah, that is all I got for this episode as well. Anthony, anything else on episode 5?
No, I'm dry.
All right, let's hop into episode 6. The Demon King climbs the stairway to school, which I thought he was going to go to school, and I am disappointed that he did not.
Wait, before we go, what do you guys think of episode 5? Because episode 5 is actually like a end piece of what's happening in the plot, if you get what I'm saying.
Sure. I liked it. I thought episode 5 was good, if that's what you mean.
Yeah, I mean, this is when we realize what's happening with everybody, why stuff is happening. I was wondering if you guys wanted to talk about it.
Oh, dude, like I honestly, so I'll say now, these next 3 episodes, 6 is better, but I'm pretty low on the net on 6, 7, 8, just because I think I'm so like out on the exposition and the plot of this show. Like I want to see them do like weird human stuff, but I don't care about like the war back home or the anti-Isles or the church and like all that stuff.
Okay, what about you, Anthony? What do you think of the whole plot up to episode 5?
Yeah, I'm way more down with this demons doing human stuff than I am about like. And the fight scene was pretty cool, but they've definitely embraced the comedy, and I know they have to tie it up back to the Isles. And I think what they're doing is okay. As long as it's worth the payoff at the end. And to be fair, they haven't given a whole lot of screen time to all the Isle plot stuff. Like this is the first big, hey, church might be bad.
Yeah.
And but I mean I think it's almost off the bat they confused me again. Somewhere I have written down like I need someone to explain some shit to me.
Okay, well, keep an eye on your notes.
Oh, something we forgot to talk about though at the end. Mao does say to Chiho that he cannot go back into Isle just because he doesn't have enough magic power, but he does have enough magic power to erase from memory. And she's like, no, don't do that. And she yells at him for that.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Sorry. Then we can get to episode 6. Sorry about that.
All right. Before we jump into 6 fully, we meet our final main character here, Suzuno, sorry. Voiced by Kane Ito, who does Carrot in One Piece, Campanella in Trails of Cold Steel, and Ai Ebihara and Yumi Ozawa in Persona 4. Voiced in the dub by Alex Moore, who did not have anything that I recognized. Not she has a friggin' ton of roles, but nothing that I recognize. So we open this episode, fire on Mao's face, him shouting about demon stuff, burning and eating and all that. And naturally, he's out to eat like a tonkatsu or yakiniku, I forget the exact term for it, restaurant with LCL, and he's like, hey man, can you not? We're in public.
I'm just saying, if I ever go to Japan, I really want to do one of these. These things look so much fun. What about you, Owen?
I've done something similar at a sushi place around here. It's I want to say it's tonkatsu. I'm probably wrong. But they bring you over like a tiny little stone grill and some raw fish with sauce, and you just like cook it for yourself right at the table.
Is it as good as it looks in the anime?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Okay.
We move on to learn that Mao has been promoted to shift manager, or he's going to be promoted to shift manager at the McDonald's. And that's good because Lucifer has spent all their money online shopping. Because also Lucifer's their roommate now.
Yeah, I think they did hint to that back in episode 5 that he's like kind of back in line now.
Yeah.
We get a fuck ton of exposition with all the robed people.
You forgetting one thing. What does Alceo say to Mao?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, we don't remember this stuff. This is our first playthrough.
No, I just write down notes, unlike you guys.
I do too.
I got it too. I don't write down conversation specifics.
Yeah, I write down what's important to me.
So Mao is eating all this meat, and Alceo's like, can you please eat some vegetables? You're going to ruin your diet.
So yeah, when that stuff
that's
doesn't
a good
I
point.
honestly, their nutrition stuff, I'm kind of over that.
Oh, no, I think it's hilarious. I just like housewife Alceo. It's just so funny.
I also like Mom LCL.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a ton of stuff with the robe people giving exposition about the church and Olba, and they're sending in someone to go figure out what's going on, blah, 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 blah.
Okay. We'll go ahead and start here.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
So Olga apostated, bruh. Right?
Excuse me?
He's an apostate.
Sure.
Okay, so that means he's against the church. He betrayed the church, right?
Yes.
So how is the church still corrupt?
Because there's more people.
There's more apostates. So the church is not corrupt. There's just a few corrupt people. That is a very important distinction to me.
Well, I think actually the central road figure who we learn is Suzuno.
Father
basically
Roboto.
says to... I'm sorry?
Isn't that his name? Father Roboto?
No, Suzuno, the girl that's talking
she's
to
the
them.
lead investigator.
I'm pretty sure she says something to the effect of like... That basically implies like, oh, just he got caught and you guys are just covering it up.
Yeah.
And like the head guy gets kind of like mad and they have to hold him back. So there's an implication there that the whole church is in on it to try as like a power grab, but he fucked up, so they're distancing from him. That's what I got anyway.
Yeah, that's what I got from too.
Gotcha. So, because all I saw was this father road figure. I was just like, he needs to get his shit together. And then I think I was still writing notes from the previous scene.
Gotcha.
Initially, I thought that was Emma returning and telling everyone what happened.
Oh, really? You couldn't tell by the difference in hair color and face
I
and
hadn't
eyes?
seen her in a while. Well, it's been a full week. Well, since I've seen her specifically in the aisles.
Oh,
What
gotcha.
her avatar in the aisle looks like.
But she powered up last episode.
She put her greaves on, kid.
Her hair grew too and changed color.
But you see what I'm saying, though? I really thought, because I was writing notes down. I saw a girl talking to robe people, and I look up, and this robe dude's losing it. I look down, there's a robe person. I look down and write more notes, and then the scene was over.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, yes, all men we do not get characteristics very well, hair color and eyes and shit. But this one
Okay,
'cause
maybe
I literally
you.
wrote down.
Hashtag not all men, thank you.
Yeah, I know, really, dude. I don't know what you talk about. It's not that hard to see that there's a difference there, but okay.
She's laying on my notes. Yeah, I mean, and also, like I said, I was writing notes, going down, coming up, going down, and I just see a girl and hear a voice, and
Totally understandable. I miss stuff doing the same thing.
That's why I paused the video, and that's why it takes me 40 minutes to watch one video.
yeah, no, see that would just bring me out of the story. And
Yeah,
I'm not-
same.
I'd stop.
I pause like maybe once an episode.
I paused like 6 times.
Okay, that makes more sense because when I got to the episode where we see what she looks like in the real world, I was like, I bet that was her.
Gotcha.
And then yeah, I ain't got nothing until I keep forgetting about the fucking landlady.
My first note immediately back from here is Lucifer Hikikomori, which, as we will learn explicitly, yes, he is.
What does that mean? Dude?
Hikikomori is shut in
Oh, okay. That's funny.
because he's sitting around with his trash and his empty bottles and his
Yes.
and his laptop, and he has like the droopy eyes and the kind of messy hair. It's like, oh, they just went full neat with him.
Yeah. Do you know what NEAT is?
I forget what it stands for.
Do you know what it is, Anthony? Do you know what NEAT is?
NEAT?
NEET.
No.
Not in education, employment, or training.
Oh, is that like a Japanese thing?
I don't know where it originated. I know Hikikomori is a Japanese thing.
Yes, it's a Japanese thing. Like, it's specifically talked about in Japanese. I have never heard it in American or anything like that. But basically what it means is a shut-in. A person who just stays inside their house and is on the computer.
Yeah. And also, we see that he's buying a video game on his laptop.
Well, that's because we find out later that he dropped his old one.
Well, he's buying a game. He's not buying the system.
But, what's God? They agree for Lucifer to stay there because he's looking for magic on the internet.
Yep. And then they're like, wow, the internet's real cool. And he's like, I can hack, watch. And they call Amelia at her call center
This is so funny.
That's pretty good.
just to be like, hey, what's up? Guess what Lucifer can do? Amelia shows up at McDonald's, and we just kind of get more exposition that we've already done.
But McDonald's is selling jalapeno fries.
They are selling jalapeno fries, which that sounds all right.
That do sound pretty good, actually.
We realize that Oba is in police custody, which I think is very interesting.
Yeah.
And then we see the fucking envelope under the fucking door.
Oh, God.
Oh my god, this is by
Yeah.
far the dumbest and the funniest thing I've ever seen.
I keep forgetting about the fucking landlady.
Well, before we get to that, actually, we see both Lucifer and LCL looking for spooky spots around Japan so that they can go see if they hold magical energy or like a gate or a demon came through there at some point or something.
My sister walked in. She goes, what's going on now? And I was like, they're looking for haunted houses.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, then we get the landlady postcard, which it takes
We see
out.
Lucifer passed out.
Yeah, it takes Lucifer and LCL out of commission, and they have to save Mao from looking at it.
Yeah, Mao is worried. Now Mao comes in, he's worried. He's like, "Oh my gosh, did we get attacked or something like that?" And he's about to look at the picture, and LCL comes out of the fucking bathroom. He's like, "Don't, Sire, please don't." Which I think is funny.
I enjoy that he just keeps calling him, sire, please, no, sire.
Yeah.
Sire, please do not. I'm not worthy of your praise, sire.
So we learn that the school is haunted, or that they have the old schoolhouse has a closed off classroom that is haunted because a kid disappeared there. So Mao goes to check out the school, and Chiho has her weird yaoi friend.
Okay, so this is something I want to discuss about. So, do you know what yaoi is?
Nope.
Was that a nope or a yep?
Sorry, no.
Okay, yeah. Yaoi is male on male gay hentai.
Is that okay? So my sister was watching, and I was like, she went all crazy or whatever when she was explaining to like, yeah, that's her roommate, and they're
Yeah.
like, they're both guys on the same futon. She's like, no, you're reading into this, and then she started flipping her shit, and I looked over at my sister and was like, do you know what the fuck this is? And then she was like, I kind of do, but I don't at the same time, and I believed her. So is that what it's just like a girl fandom thing of loving
No,
two guys?
I mean,
Yes, it is.
I mean, you can be gay and into yaoi, or bi or whatever into yaoi.
Anyways, what I want to talk about. I wish we had a goal on this podcast. Goal, sorry. But supposedly this is a Japanese thing. I've seen it in several animes where there's a girl who's obsessed with yaoi.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just wondering if it's like a thing. There was a podcast that I do watch sometimes, and there was a woman who enjoys like the whole men on men thing. Like, see, like, you know what I mean? And I'm just wondering if it's like a thing in Japan or not.
I mean, I'm sure it is because I have seen it in. I don't know if I've seen it in anime, but I've definitely like seen that character type in games who is like very into yaoi.
Yeah, and so I'm just wondering because I know in the States where we live at, like, I never hear any of this fucking stuff. So
I knew anime girls in high school that were like openly those yaoi types.
oh, that's fucking awesome, dude. And then here's another trope. The school stories trope. I've seen this in a bunch of anime. It's not a trope in America, right?
I feel like the haunted school will definitely show up in like a bunch of like probably young adult fiction, but I honestly don't know that much of it.
I mean, anime is young adult fiction, though.
Yeah, but I mean like Western stuff too.
Anytime there's a sitcom-y show, I think there's eventually a haunted school or a haunted something to do with school.
I can't think of anyone that I'm...
Community.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Their school is on a hellmouth.
What would you say about Community? Because Community has like Halloween episodes, but I don't think they have school stories of random stuff happening.
Oh, school stories. Sorry, I thought you just meant like scary. I put scary in quotes and happening in a school. Okay, no. Yeah, they don't have a school story, I don't think, per se.
In Japan, this shows up a bunch of times, is urban legends, and it happens all the time. There's sometimes episodes dedicated to urban legends, which is this episode is dedicated to urban legends.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and make a broad, sweeping cultural statement.
Oh, let's do it.
That I apologize if I'm incorrect, but the impression that I get is that Japan is a lot more spiritual than us.
Oh, okay.
So that's why these urban legends tend to crop up, because they're much more about, not like about ghosts and stuff, but like they're more likely to have put some weight on spirituality and superstition than we are, where we're all just like cynical and shit.
Okay.
I want to take the time to mention also how I really enjoy this. This happens throughout the scene, but I'm going to go ahead and touch it now. I love how scared Mao is this whole scene.
Yeah.
No, so do you want to talk, did you write down the notes of all the urban legends? Because I do not have them.
No, I didn't, because I was actively thinking about it while she was listing them off, and I didn't think any of them were like that funny or interesting to write them down.
There's only a couple that I know, which is the one that the fucking classroom that's boarded up, the stairway that has
one extra step going up or down.
Yeah, one of those, which I just think is hilarious, and
that's pretty funny. But
and the last one is the soul one with the cell phone, with whenever you what's it called? It's like whenever you leave the school or something like that.
No, when you learn, no one knows the seventh one, because when you learn all seven, you get a call on your cell phone that steals your soul.
Ring, ring.
There's noise. They're infiltrating the schoolhouse. There's noise behind them, and they get ready for demons or ghosts or whatever. Which I don't know why demons are afraid of monsters, but we'll move past that.
It could be the fact that they're in human bodies and they can't fight like they
Yeah, whatever. LCL is ready to go. He's got his postcard.
He pulls out his talisman, and it's the funniest shit ever. This is the callback, which I love. This is a great callback. Go on, Owens.
No, yeah, that's the whole thing of this scene. He's ready to roll with that postcard.
And then they're like, why do you have a postcard? He goes, it worked on us, didn't it? And then they're like, yeah.
So good.
And of course, the footsteps ends up being Amelia. She shows up. Chiho asks her to put on the guest shoes, and they immediately ditch her.
Oh no! So she goes to this whole tirade about like Ho being a hero or something like that, and then fucking they did the statue substitutions issue where they just put statues over now,
Yeah.
and she's by herself.
They run away from her a bit, and they hide in, I guess, like a science room, and they're hiding behind the table. Amelia comes in, sees a figure, pulls out her sword and chops it, destroying that anatomical model, and does one of my favorite things in anime, actually. The completely unwarranted, but 100% self-assured and overconfident, just the yosh.
Yush.
Yeah. Which is like it's like an affirmation thing where we might go like, yeah, or nice.
Oh, okay.
And it can be used for different, like, yeah, you can yell it too, but yeah, it's just an affirmation thing. But just the way she destroys that anatomical model and then immediately like, yeah, good job, B. Hell yeah. And they're like, what are you talking about? How is that good?
So I think it's great because in that scene you do see everybody covering up their heads when the mirror shows up. You get to see all three of them covering up with their heads, which I thought was funny. And then they go to this whole tirade about how expensive it is. And I was like, I'm not helping you pay for that.
Real expensive. Yeah, you gotta fix it. He's like, why don't you fix it? He goes, you made a problem.
And I think Mao says, is it normal for heroes to come in and just use their swords? Which is so funny. The fact that Demon Guy is saying that.
I do wonder sometimes how much she would have been called out in like the aisles for doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Mao is like on her ass, like that, like the whole series about that's really not hero like of you.
Yeah. And then Mao's like, why should I use magic to cover up your butt? Because I think Mao can fix it with his magic. And then was it Alceo says, what, this one only has one heart, which we now realize that demons have more than one heart, which I think is just a really funny aside.
Yeah. They find the room, see that it's not sealed. Someone's already been in or out of here. And they open the door, and it's immediately clear that Lucifer was living there. And they find his PS Vita. And he calls him and is like, hey, is there a game system on the floor there by any chance? Or did you find anything?
That's the one where he's like, every 5 seconds with you.
It's like, oh, so that's where I left it, huh?
Wow.
Thought so. They get mad. I'm like, oh, so you're the one who opened the gates. Like, oh, did I not mention that? Oops.
Did I mention that?
They go to leave. There's udon on the ground outside.
What is udon?
It's a thick noodle.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the name of someone, like the package was addressed to someone named Udon.
Nope. It was just a package of udon.
I wrote down the name. I was like, okay, we'll figure out who this fucking guy is now.
Which I'm assuming at this point is a reference to Suzuno.
Yeah, Susanna.
LCL is being mom again.
Oh, no. So Alceo, wait, does he drop the picture over here? Or when does he drop the picture?
I did write something about the postcard, but I didn't write the specifics, so I don't remember.
Yeah, I think this is beforehand, but yeah, Mao sees the picture and he just passes out again, which is another callback, which is funny.
Oh, sure.
I think that's at the very end, right?
Yeah. And then Alceo's telling Lucifer he only has 1 hour of gaming per day.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
And then we see the new character.
Yeah, Mao is coming home, and a girl falls down the stairs.
Do people not know how to fucking walk on stairs in Japan?
No, I think it's these, like...
Is it just
I don't know what her
fucking
problem
things?
is. I think the joke with Amelia is that she can't do heels. But yeah, she falls down the stairs. Mao catches her. We see her. I was 95% certain that she was going to smirk. But she doesn't. She just passes out, I guess. And we move on to episode 7. Episode 7, The Devil's Budget is Saved by Neighborliness. We learn that Suzuno has moved next door and gives them a big box of udon as a moving in gift, which I think is reverse. Maybe new neighbors give people stuff in Japan. I don't know. But anyone have anything about like this opening scene? Or I don't have a lot in this episode. I think it's kind of a stinker, but
I just have the new simp neighbor sent by the landlady.
So we see her hand the box of noodles to Mao, and we realize that the udon noodles are actually super heavy because Mao can't lift them. So you know what that means?
it's heavy and she's strong.
Yeah, it means that she's strong.
I mean, very soon after she said something to like,
Amelia?
yeah. that she's like a warrior.
Yeah.
I'm just saying she has a petite figure, so I didn't know she had muscles. I didn't know she lift.
It's that traditional garb, bro.
Yeah. I love the fact that she wears a kimono thing. I'm just like, that's just really fucking cool. And then she talks about Mao about how she got that she was sent in by the landlady, and then you see the postcard sticking out of her.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? Is it a belt or something? I don't know what that is.
It has a name. I forget what it is.
Is it a sash or something?
No, it has like a name. Like I said, it has. I mean, yes, it's a sash, but it has.
Yeah, and then Mao's like, no,
different
don't show me, don't show me. I'm good. Yeah, and then we realize that fucking Mira gets a package from is it
Emirata, who's the small girl from the portal.
Yeah, which she's I guess an alchemist.
Yeah, because she's just in some lab apparently now. She grabbed one of those real quick.
Yeah, and then she's like, "Oh, I sent that 1 day ago. That's really cool." Like she's just happy with all this with all this old technologies we realizing because she's eating Pocky in one of the scenes, which I think it's hilarious.
Excuse me, Baki.
Oh, is it Baki? I did not see that it was named Baki.
Baki is like they probably would have had to license it, so they called it Baki.
Okay, and then we realized that as long as Amir drinks these celestial medicine, that
Celestial Force.
Yeah.
Oh no, God, what was it? It was something stupid.
It's like B, but I don't know what the B is.
It was like Heavitin or vitamin beta or something.
Yeah,
it was like some weird mix of heaven and vitamin, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, it'll give her celestial force.
Dude, I dead ass thought that she went back into the aisles.
Nope, she's just hanging out.
Where'd the dude at?
Who knows, man? Amelia is stalking them again because she's got nothing better to do.
This is a really fucking weird scene.
Yeah, this was the fan service of her, right?
Yeah, I honestly saw this and I was just like, if neither of them brings it up, I'm just gonna blow past it. It's not worth talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the only time
that's
I
how
ever
I felt
paused
about it.
this whole series.
Ugh.
We see that Susanoo is fucking helping them out all over the place.
Yeah, trying to teach Lucifer to do anything.
Yeah.
If I wouldn't get your knee-jerk reaction, Orange, I wouldn't say it.
Well, who cares? Like, dude, that entire scene was such a waste of time. Even without that, just her sitting out there drinking water was like, what are we doing?
I think that did do something. It established that it's hot. So that way in the next scene, you can see that it basically gives an excuse for Susanoo, right? For her to be inside the house. Susanoo, sorry. So it basically gives, like, they did it, I think they did it okay. I just don't think they needed the weird see-through stuff. I ain't sure, whatever, make people happy. But they did it to establish that it's hot, so therefore, what's-his-face has heat stroke, LCL has heat stroke now, he's cocked out. And who's going to take care of the house? Well, hey, we have a new neighbor, her name is Susanoo. And that's why it gives her a reason to be in the house.
I hate the fact that LCO is sick. Like,
Yeah, fuck that, dude.
Yeah, I loved you in your scenes, and the fact that you're just laying down, like, it's kind of sad because...
And that's why Chris doesn't like this episode.
Yeah, I was honestly about to say, maybe that's why I was so checked out of 7 and 8. Like, no LCL, man. What are we doing?
Emilia is still stalking, which I think is funny because I don't know why. These guys are like, they're not doing shit. Like, come on, Emilia, just leave these guys alone.
Yeah. Surprise, Amelia falls down the stairs again.
God. Damn it.
Mao catches her.
Yeah, and then they just talk in the apartment about stuff they've already... What?
Mao catches her, and then fucking Emilia freaks out and punches and kicks Mao.
Oh, sure.
For no reason.
Him.
And then they talk about it, and Mao is bragging the fact that he got the shift manager with a fucking, what's it called, toilet paper up his nose, which I think is funny.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I do appreciate that they kept that in his nose, like, the entire sequence of scenes.
I think that's just funny because everybody's like, oh, great, your shift manager, hooray for you. And Mao is just so happy about it.
Hell yeah, man. Only like a couple months ago, he was a part-timer. Now he's a fucking shift manager, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
He's on the come-up.
And then, how do you fall down the stairs again? I think it's funny.
She doesn't fall down the stairs yet. They have that conversation in the apartment, which, again, other than the shift manager, I don't think there's anything really new or interesting. Until Amelia pulls Susanoo outside to think, like, oh, because it's like, oh, are you also after Mao? And, like, this was where I fucking giant groan, dude. Who?
So you're saying that they got you though?
No, because I don't think they did.
Oh, you think she's still after him in that way?
Uh huh.
Oh,
I think she will be.
all right, we'll see. Monkey, don't say anything.
Yeah, I definitely think that she will be. And also, it's just like, I don't know, man. I feel like the character should be smarter than this.
I was with you when this happened. I was like, fuck, here we fucking go.
Amelia's fucking, what's it called? She is still a teenager. I think she's 17. And she's been fighting for her whole life, so she has not had no, like, social, like, life. So it makes sense to me.
Yeah, but Susanoo, I don't know, man. It just felt like, oh, this is what we're doing. Okay, let's see how long they drag this out.
No, Susanoo, the next episode, which I think is pretty funny about what happens because of this scene.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just a huge misunderstanding, but I think it's really funny.
No, I mean, yeah, I mean, the payoff was okay, but yeah, this part to me just felt like, what are we doing, guys?
At the time, I felt that, but after we get the payoff, I was like, okay. But if it comes back to fruition, I'm gonna be a little mad.
Yeah. Then Amelia falls down the stairs again. we don't see it. I think we just hear it. She falls like most of the way down, and Susanoo walks back in and is like, and Mao's like, oh yeah, did she make it past the like K block or something? And she's like, no, she made it most of the way. Like, whatever.
And then I think Amelia is talking on the phone with Omelda.
Yeah, she's talking on with Emerada again, and we just got another exposition dump of who cares.
Yeah,
from my perspective.
But I think Imelda is actually pretty funny because he's like, oh, let's hang up the phone right now. You might get a really big phone bill.
Yeah, she's a pretty fun character, but dude, I was so checked out in that conversation.
No, I know. And then we get the scene with the fucking lunchbox.
Well, first of all, Mao is getting to play ship. The manager tells him like, hey, I'm going away. You're going to be in charge while I'm gone, buddy.
I told you she comes
You're not quite shift manager yet. Consider this your trial run.
Yeah. You happy?
And then he goes on. Yes, more manager, please. Still, always more manager. Unless she becomes into Mao, then I'm out.
Monkey's just like, I got news for you.
That's the Skype quit sound. I don't know what the Discord quit sound is. He goes on break with Chiho and pulls out his fancy lunchbox that Susanoo prepared for him.
God, this is such a good fucking scene.
Yeah, it's pretty good. This is definitely Chiho's highlight.
Oh, yeah. The music when the battle music's opening. When they're
oh my god, I said that
so
fucking battle music. So good.
I was very happy.
But yeah, so she sees it. They open the top, and she's like, "It's New Year's dishes." And he's like, "Yeah, you want me to open the second part?" And then boom, inner monologue. She's like, "It's the most intense moment of her life. Like she's preparing to go to war."
And she even says, "Like, no, I'm not mentally prepared."
And if you're aware of the subreddit Perfectly Cut Screams, I think this belongs on there, because when he finally pulls up the second layer and it's that heart decoration.
Yeah.
And like the music cuts, she screams for like half a second, then it just hard cuts. It's so good. We go back to Amelia doing some shopping, just kind of listlessly realizing that I always buy the same stuff every time I go shopping. And someone with a mask runs into the door. Amelia goes to fight him and shoves the worker into the corner.
Do you guys? This is his theory, but do you guys know? Do you guys think you guys know the reason why the masked guy went to the door?
He's blind.
So he doesn't know how doors work.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. He doesn't know automatic doors. That makes more sense.
Yeah, that's the way I was like, why would he? I'm like, oh wait, he's probably from another. Yeah, he's.
I kind of picked up on because I mean he started firing lasers and stuff, and I saw him run into the door, and I was like, that's pretty funny. Like I didn't laugh, but I was like, I noted, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't even consider that. That's a good catch.
Yeah, they started fighting, and I never really kind of up until now thought about it again, but that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Monkey, don't answer. Do you have a theory of who this masked figure is?
Manager from SFC.
Okay, great. We're on the same page.
Kinda. So I thought it was him. But did she say something about him smelling or anything when they were fighting?
No.
Okay, because like he keeps bringing up his fucking cologne. Everyone does too. Like, so that's kind of where I was like, SFC manager, but
I was saying this guy, he pulls out a scythe, and the scythe is one of my favorite weapons in animes ever.
Scythes are pretty cool.
It's pretty dope.
I love scythes. Yeah.
Oh, I was kind of actually a little upset in that because he pulled out a scythe, he swings it once, and he starts shooting laser beams out of his eyes.
Yeah. I'm just happy to see a scythe because scythe is one of the worst weapons ever when you think about it because it's not like...
Oh, it's not practical.
It's not practical at all.
I will say I'm a little disappointed that, like, I get why, but I'm a little disappointed Amelia doesn't ever get to, like, fucking destroy somebody. Because she's supposed to be, like, the legendary hero that's responsible for banishing the Demon King and his armies.
Well, you see, if Amelia didn't have all her people, she can't do shit. We realized that in the first episode.
I think that sucks. Because she was very much holding her own in the flashbacks. Or, like, the war scenes.
She had 2 other people with them. With her. You gotta remember that, dude. Remember, the humans fight dirty, unlike the demons.
I still think that sucks.
It might suck, but he's right. Monkey is right. It is established.
Yeah, yeah, you're not wrong, but...
I agree with you, though, because Amelia should be, like, stronger because he's the one that raised up the humans to fight off the demons.
And, I mean, honestly, I think they're playing it well. I haven't read too much into this, what you guys are talking about, but every time, like, he was, like, fucking started blasting at her, and then she's like, dodge, dodge, dodge. She's like, I don't have the magic to do this, so I'm out.
Well, no, I don't think it means anything. You know, and obviously, like, she can't just destroy Lucifer, and she can't just kill this guy because he has to be a character later. And that's what I mean by it makes sense. The only people she fights are recurring characters.
They could have done something like that, or like send like him at plus 2 minions, and she just destroys the 2 underlings.
Yeah,
Sure, I'll ride a strongly worded leather with you.
great. But yeah, she's fighting him, and then the shop guy comes out and throws like oranges or something at him.
Yeah,
No, let's go. He's shooting eye-beams at her, and she's blocking with the sword, and she realizes the sword is losing its celestial form because of the eye-beams.
Right.
And the guy comes out with oranges and throws it at the guy.
Yeah. Which this guy's a giant dork, and it's kind of great.
Yeah.
And then Chiho calls Amelia
Which is so funny.
to talk. This is to talk about Susanoo, right?
Yep. About the lunchbox.
Yeah, to talk about the lunchbox and how she needs her help. And that's pretty much the end of episode 7. Anything else on episode 7?
I really did like I called out to the music twice in this episode, once for the lunchbox and once for that art, or the fight between the masked man. M was fantastic. Like, it was just JRPG as fuck. Mm-hmm. And I was down. Yeah, that's just a music shout out.
If we get enough patrons, number to be determined, me and Anthony will do a let's play of a JRPG.
Oh,
dude, I'm down.
Why
as fuck.
would you do that? That's so long.
Let's go, baby.
Dude, I love JRPGs.
I got 120
Dude, if I could sit
hours.
there and watch Anthony play like Persona 5 Royal, fucking yeah.
I got 120 hours. Let's do it.
So episode 8, the hero barges into a fight. Amelia and Chiho, off the back of the conversation ending 7, go to visit. And of course, Susanoo opens the door, much to Chiho's dismay.
And Chiho just loses her mind.
She just has a fucking stroke right there.
Yeah, I think Amelia like prepares Chiho for battle. She's like, oh, don't be awkward and stuff like that. She's like, oh, and then just Chiho just loses her mind.
Yeah. But it's cool, because then they get to cooking and talking about cooking.
Who brings their own bowl?
She brought lunch.
Chiho did?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
Yeah,
She brought lunch for Mao.
Oh, okay. I thought she just happened to have a bowl like just tucked behind her fucking like.
No, so I think like we established in redacted.
Even
That's why I said redacted.
it doesn't matter. I want fucking Anthony to beep every fucking even there is.
Yes.
Galliana.
Well, now we can just cut all that. But yeah, like we established during that, I think in at least Japanese culture, cooking food for someone is much more intimate than it is here.
That's so weird to me.
It makes sense though, because you're putting work into making the food. Like, I like this. It's better than buying flowers and giving chocolate. Like, that's such like a cop out to do.
Well, like, I mean,
It's probably not like, I'm gonna go ahead and wildly speculate here.
let's do it.
It's just a sign of caring and affection,
I'm cool with that.
and a more reserved culture perhaps sees that as like an open display of basically being like, hey, I care about you. And like as fucking macho and detached as our culture likes to be, we don't assign that same affection and caring to preparing a meal for somebody, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think there's just different cultural annotations on it because there's a...
We buy an acoustic guitar and write a shitty song.
No, because I mean, if you think about dating, like usually one of the steps of dating is when you invite someone over, you cook for them, which that does make sense. But just they're casually cooking for their friends.
But see, it's not. Well, in Chiho's case, it's not like casually. Yeah, I can't fully explain it. I just know from my exposure to anime and anime adjacent things that cooking a meal and sharing it with that person is seen as like an intimate gesture.
Make some girls some
Lucifer
alphabet
is sleeping
soup.
in a box.
I was hope I was yes.
Which, dude, I feel I identify with Lucifer on so many levels.
Dude, man's gotta get some
Really?
privacy. Yeah.
Well, we talked about how he's a hikikomori. He likes to sleep in boxes.
Oh, this reminds me. What's it called? Does Susanoo's name mean anything? Do you know?
I don't know. Well, okay. I guess at some point we do learn her real name is Celestia Bell, but I also don't know if that means anything. So
Hit us up on the Twitter if you know what it means.
then they sit down to eat all the food, and of course Lucifer is excluded. Again, I identify with Lucifer.
He has to eat a poke bowl again.
I love during this whole conversation, and the fact that I guess it never came up again. Lucifer in the background is the whole time is like, hey, I thought we had fresh fish. Hey, what's up with the fish? I thought we had fish. What's going on? Where's the fish? Just literally nonstop through that entire conversation of them at the table.
It's kind of cool that they cut in that dialogue in the background.
Which reminds me, here's my hot take, which I'm almost certain is wrong now. I still feel like the heat wave was a misdirect because I think LCL is being poisoned by Suzuno so she can get closer to them. It's not actually heat exhaustion.
My hot take is Orange is reading into this comedy too much.
Mao tells Suzuno, like, hey, you could come work at the McDonald's if you want.
That's to read the room, my guy. So
That'd be a good idea. Yeah, pretty much everyone else, including Lucifer's like, what the fuck, man? What are you doing? She considers it, which I'm a little disappointed that to this point she's not currently working at the McDonald's. But
Yeah. Although we know she has money. She has a lot of money.
Mao goes to walk Chiho home. They're
Oh,
walking.
okay. This is before this.
Okay.
So, what's it called? So they talk about getting Susanoo some clothes because her clothes is outdated. And what's it called? And they talk about money and stuff like that. And Lucifer's like, oh, don't worry. Amelia has money. And so he goes, touches Amelia's purse. And Amelia's like, no, she's like, get away from the purse. I don't want no neat germs on my purse.
Yeah, he's like, it's not contagious.
Yeah, it's like, it's just funny.
Sorry, I was lost on my note. Chiho basically goes on her whole thing of like, hey, I like you, and I know you're a demon, but I knew you before I was a demon. Which she actually does something really cool here that I liked and was way more poignant than I expected this show to ever get. She says that like, I started liking you before I knew you were the Demon King. Or I started liking you, and to that extent, she started liking him on her own before she knew anything about him. So when she stops liking him, that'll also be on her own, not because of something else,
Yeah,
not because he's the
cool.
Demon King, not because of Amelia, but it's just when it happens.
I do love the fact that she actually tells him too. So she's like, it's no like fucking, you mean it's like out in the open. It's not fucking secretive or anything like that. Like Mao knows that she likes him and stuff like that.
breaking all kinds of anime stereotypes in my book.
Yeah, that's true.
Kinda.
Yeah.
It's
And
refreshing.
what's
It's a nice little breath of fresh air.
Dude, this is your fourth anime. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, they still do the shit in non-animes too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with Owens though. Like, I do love the fact that she goes like, yeah, I liked you before, like knowing about your past. Like, I like the person you are instead of the person you was.
Yeah, exactly.
So, very important part. Doulahan shows up again.
God damn it.
I figured you would have waited because there's going to be a time to talk about Doulahan.
Oh no.
Which is right after this.
Yeah.
So Doulahan shows up again, and Mao is walking Chiho with Doulahan, and I think Chiho's like, too bad that doesn't have like his saddle seat or something like that. Doesn't have a seat for me to sit on.
That was a pretty fun scene, actually.
And he's like, yeah, but you get fined for that.
Yeah, you get fined 20,000.
Like, yeah, I know.
And she
But
was,
like,
yeah, she was like, yeah, so that's not the point. The point was, I think it's all funny. Okay, then we get to the whole scene about Chiho's confession, which I like.
Yeah,
and then we get to a really fucking funny scene.
Susanoo shows up.
Susanoo shows up and was Chiho says, how much did you heal? And he tells her like, oh, I basically hold everything. And she just starts running away with Dullahan. Takes Mao's bike, Dullahan, and just starts running away, which is so funny.
Yeah. Then we get to Amelia and Susanoo rehashing the conversation from earlier. In the train, they're in the train station. They start arguing about, it's like, oh, I thought you liked him, and she's like, no, I know you're the hero, and I thought you were actually warning me.
We do get the scene where it's what's it called? Does Susanoo realize you can pay watermelons for passages?
Oh, sure.
I just think it's hilarious. I love it whenever they talk about the old stuff. Whereas I don't know if you know this, Anthony, but with the way Susanoo is talking, it's like old language. So it's like Shakespeare compared to our language.
Yeah, are you watching the sub, Anthony?
I'm watching the dub. Oh, sorry, sub. Yeah. Sub.
Okay, yeah. So that's why she always says like good Mao, good Amelia, or whatever. Like she always refers to people as like good something, and that's why it's translated that way because it's a very old type of speaking,
Gotcha.
or old way of speaking.
Which I'm sorry, there was a bunch of like animes when this happens, when someone just comes up from like the old times, which I love that stereotype whenever someone's speaking old language.
I really like the either out of time or like not human person learning to be human when it's done well. And there are definitely moments in this series where it does both of those things very well.
I still to this day think about when they first come out like to the cops. And he's like, no one talks to my sir that way, and like fucking puts his hand out to do magic, and nothing happens.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the very first episodes are like one of my favorite parts about this anime. I mean, it's still good. It's just not as good as the beginning. But Susanoo basically tells Amy that she comes from the gate, like they finally understand. And there's this miscommunication. And I wrote down this conversation because I love this conversation. But Susanoo's like, didn't it strike you as odd? A sweet young girl such as myself who's just moved in, and then Mary's like, who calls herself that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was pretty good.
And Susanoo's like, venturing into an all-male home and slaving away for them? It's ridiculous. And Mary and I just think that's so funny. It's just that little dialogue with them yelling. It's like, come on, Emilia, think. Like, that's the stupidest thing ever. What are you doing here? It's just so funny.
My favorite part about this scene is I don't know exactly when it happens, but they represent Amelia's thought process with two rabbits chopping wood.
Yeah,
that was pretty funny.
I really love that visual for some reason.
I think it was immediately after she puts the dots together. Like, after him did not mean after him. I think she's the two rabbits.
Yeah, it's a very funny image.
So dumb.
And this is where we learned that Susanoo is Crestia Bell, the head, like
investigator.
She is head investigator, but we also learned that I believe she's working for like an Inquisition. So I think she's, I don't know if she's okay. She's probably not like a head inquisitor, but she's a head investigator for an Inquisition, at least.
That's kind of what I got, is that she was the head of the investigation thing, and it seemed like to me that, I don't know if we got that here, but like, I think Mao even mentioned something later. It was basically like a rebranding. It used to mean Inquisition.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of the thing I got.
Yeah, it's a rebranding. They was talking about that. Oh, yeah, and then we get to the whole scene with the fucking Susanoo does not understand technology whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Because he can't get through the gate, which is really funny. He's just so mad she can't get through the gate. And he falls down on an escalator because he doesn't understand the steps move up.
Yeah, I thought she was gonna get caught.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. And later when she's like yelling at the it's late, it's much later.
Yeah, but she's yelling
she's
at
saying
the
like
train
I did it all on my own, and she's yelling at the ticket dispenser thing.
Yeah, which is so
like,
funny.
how much more do you want from me? It's pretty good.
But yeah, the whole restaurant scene is pretty interesting.
Yeah, because for one, we learned that, oh yeah, I learned all my fashion and how to act from samurai movies.
Which, are they real samurai movies or do you know?
I don't think so. I don't think I recognized any of them.
Okay.
But I wouldn't be surprised. I have to imagine if they were real samurai movies, there would have been like one big Kurosawa in there. But
Yeah.
but that's always a nice touch, especially since she was like, "Oh, my favorites were these ones, though," and like she wasn't just studying at a certain point. She's like, "Fuck yeah, samurai movies."
That's funny.
Oh yeah, they call one like Lone Lion and Cub or something, which Lone Wolf and Cub is a real series. So yeah, they were probably parodies on actual series or actual movies.
I don't know if you caught this, but it was just a really interesting thing is whenever they open up the what's it, the cream, and they spill it and they clean it up, and both of them will just clean up the mess. And I was just like, that's just a nice little tidbit. You know what I mean? I just like that.
The way I saw it was that Susanoo was literally just copying Amelia.
Oh, really? I didn't
Like, I didn't rewind to see, but Amelia, she opens hers and a little spills. And then it cuts to Susanoo, who does the same thing. Like, she opens hers and makes a little frustrated gesture when it spills and then starts wiping it up.
Oh, okay.
So I took it as she was literally just copying her. Like, oh, that's what you do. Okay.
Okay, that's cool.
And then we get some more bullshit exposition about who cares.
Just check it out on this fucking main plot.
Dude, really? It's so uninteresting.
Yeah. The whole thing with the Inter Ios is really bad because we want more of McDonald's, which
Yes.
we're about to get.
Yeah, we go to McDonald's, and here's where Anthony was saying the manager is not having a good time. Which, dude, I'm gonna say again, she's got big Masato energy. Tell me I'm wrong.
Oh my god.
And she's like, oh, I have to go. She's like, oh, I'm gonna get shipped off to Greenland, and you're coming with me if we
He's
fail.
like, do you want to go to Greenland? He's like, no, we have to defeat SFC. Yes, ma'am. That was so
the
good.
fact he's scared of the manager is so hilarious.
I just think he was really like he knows his line right now, or he knows where he's supposed to be. Like,
She's his commander.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
and he knows how army works for sure.
Yeah.
We all know what SFC means, right, you guys?
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yep, Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Back in McDonald's, in walks goddamn James from Team Rocket. Am I the only one who sees that? Am I like out of my mind, or is he just straight up James from Team Rocket?
No, he's James. He has the same hairstyle.
Okay. Yeah, I literally wrote for my note, hey, James, where's Jesse? He's a fucking creepo. We don't need to go into detail as to why necessarily. LCL has been sent to spy on SFC.
This is funny. I can't wait to the next episode is probably the best one at Dispatch.
Yeah, I might agree. 5 and 9 are good bookends to this weaker set.
Yeah.
I totally forgot something that happens here because the next thing I have is about Rika.
What's it called? So we get to the part where what's it called? Susanoo meets up with Miria and Rika.
Oh, right, it was Susanoo. Okay.
Yeah, and
Yep.
Susanoo was like, Miria's like, how did you get the money? And Susanoo was like, oh, I just gave them gold.
Oh no, she's like, I sold a few things, and then we cut to the guy with like this ornate, like
Gold,
emerald ring,
yeah. Oh
like
my
losing
God.
his mind.
Yeah. And then she shows her what the bus pass or the train pass or something like that. Like she's
Yeah.
really proud of the fact that she did it. And we already talked about this, but it's such a great scene of her trying to get the fucking train pass.
Yeah. And then Rika butts in.
I like Rika. Rika is funny.
Yeah, Rika. I am maintaining Rika as one of my favorite characters after next episode. And it's like, oh, we're gonna go see what this Mao guy is about, huh? Seems like everyone thinks this Mao is so cool. I want to tag along. And then we get a shot of SFC is booming. And that is the end of episode 8. Anyone else anything on episode 8?
The last scene is what's got Mao and Chiho is just mad the fact that they have no customers. This is,
I think I did like in general how Chiho just stole her friend.
Huh? You mean Susanoo?
Wait, is that? Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
Susanoo just stole.
Yeah, because Susanoo's going to see Mao, and Rika's like, great. And Amelia's like, what? Fine, you guys fucking go see Mao. And Rika's like, nah, you're coming.
Yeah, that was pretty. I just kind of enjoyed that dynamic.
Oh, yeah. Episode 9. The hero learns the true meaning of a lover's quarrel. We open, again, this is very much the quick light. They're the most, like, interconnected set of episodes that we've had so far. They're heading over, or they're in the SFC, and we see that it's Sasahata Tanabata Festival, which I forgot to look up, so I have no clue what that is. And Rika is basically planning her attack, how to approach the situation, how to handle this battle, as she keeps calling it.
I love the fact that Rika loves this. This is so funny.
Rika is all about this.
Yep.
And she goes to order, paying for Suzuno and Amelia. And again, the manager is a creep.
All right, Caston, why did they go to the CFC? Like, I know there was a reason, but I do not understand the reasoning.
I think they wanted to, like, talk before going to see Mao.
Yeah,
Oh,
they were
okay.
going to go in the store, and then they're like, no. We should go to SFC because it seems like a more of a better place, I think, is the context.
Okay.
And they start talking about Mao, and Rika's, like, asking about him, and Chiho basically says, like, oh, yeah, he's the greatest, coolest guy that's ever existed. And Amelia starts talking mad shit about him.
Amelia says, I'm going to kill him.
Yeah.
She is
But-
just not, like, mentioning words whenever she, like, is talking about Mao.
I gotta admit, at this point, I'm so fucking checked out of everyone, like, just, oh, so why do you like him so much? And she's like, I fucking don't.
Yep.
I'm
Agreed.
now on her side. Like, just everyone needs to shut the fuck. At this point, I'd be like, yeah, I want to fuck him. Can we move on with the story now?
Oh, dude, there's going to be a bunch of animes like this, Anthony. Just you wait.
Oh, boy. But guess what? LCL is over there investigating, and he will not stand for the slandering of his sire.
God, that's so funny.
So he goes over, and he gets mad, and we cut back over to, I want to keep calling it McGronald's, where we get Mao trying to figure out what to do about the SFC. He's shift manager now. The manager has gone.
He's got
in
the
charge
responsibility,
of,
bro.
like, yeah, he's in charge of like 5 employees, and he's going through his head like, what do we do here? How do we make this work? How do we get people to do something? How do I keep the morale of the troops up? Everyone looks bored. Everyone looks defeated. And he's like, I got it. Clean the windows. And you even hear one guy in the background go like, that's what you came up with?
So good.
Yeah, I really enjoy them doing this side of characters, where they treat these mundane things with the intensity of like a war general.
Is this a flashback when Mao and Alceo is talking to each other?
I don't know if that is a thing. I do not have it in my notes.
Okay, yeah, so I'm just gonna say it right here. So we get the whole conversation with Mao and Alceo is basically, they're basically just, Mao's asked Alceo if he could spy on the SFC. And then Alceo's like, but we don't want to ruin our budget because of it. Like, we wanna keep our budget.
Yeah.
And so, but Mao's like, oh, I'm your commander, though. You have to do, like, what I say. And he's like, in war, it's better to know your opponent than not to know them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he's just treating it like a war, basically. And Alceo's like, okay, sire, I would do it. And they both hug.
Yeah, that's good.
And
Wow,
look-
Saba, or no, what does he keep yelling? He yells like, yeah, I think he keeps, fuck. Does he call him Ashura, or does he actually call him Alciel here? Because they both just keep yelling back to each other.
I don't remember, but it's so funny. Because, yeah, they both... And this was like, what did I get myself into? Like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah. He's hugging and crying across the table,
Yeah.
just yelling each other's names.
Yeah, but I think it's funny the fact that he's actually was worried about the budget. So
Of course he is.
Yeah.
And speaking of, we go back to the SFC. Rika wants Alciel to join them because, you know, he's good friends with Mao, so she wants to know more about Mao. But he's like, nah, I got shit to do. You guys are talking bad about my sire. I ain't having this. And Amelia's like, I'll pay for you. And he immediately sits down.
He says, I have to try the dessert and the salads. I did not have enough in my budget for that.
Uh-huh. Like, I think he says, also order me one of those, like, honey biscuits or whatever.
Yeah, pancakes or something like that.
And then he goes into this whole story of how
my God.
they ran a business together.
This whole construction story is so bad. It's so hilarious.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Him and Mao ran a personnel placement and that business that sometimes dabbled in construction.
How old are you?
Yeah, Rika's like, what? I thought you guys were like my age.
So I can't attest to this yet, but I think I'm gonna super love this scene for more than one reason. I think they're gonna slow down on the does Emilia and Mao, like, why are they so close but yet they don't have a relationship like that? I think this is an excuse for that.
I hope so.
At least I want it to be, but we'll find out next week.
Yeah, maybe. But we're still probably going to get plenty of the "I don't like you, idiot" stuff.
What's the company called?
I don't.
Oh, Mouse Syndicate, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, the Mouse Syndicate. So funny. Such an evil name. The Mouse Syndicate.
It's like, but Amelia was working for a rival company, but she was just like an intern. And Rika's like, wait, how
So
old are you?
Bad. This is such a bad story. It's so funny.
It's like, yeah. And then we were struggling, and Amelia was super talented, so they recognized her at the other business. And then we were going under, but she took a business from us, and we went out of business. And we've been together ever since, trying to come back up. Like, we want to start another business together. And then we ran into Amelia a year later.
Is it me or does this story sound ridiculous?
Oh no, it's very stupid.
Oh, I have to give props to LCL because this is like, it's far-fetched, but at least he like made a story. You know what I'm saying? It's not like,
Yeah.
it's dumb, but it's not dumb.
And and then he's also like, and now I'm just like playing housewife all day while he goes and tries to learn about management and climb the corporate ladder. How far I've fallen. And after the story, Rika encourages him. And then I wrote literally in all capital letters by hand, because I take hand notes, called it. Because I'm pretty sure last episode I said this.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the ship I'm here for. Fuck anything with Mao. Give me the Rika LCL.
Oh, I love Mao, but LCL is just a better.
So you want the Rika LCL?
I'm 100% here for Rika X LCL.
I was pretty happy when she got all like flustered. They're like, what? She's like, nothing.
Yeah, because he's like, oh, no one's ever been so nice to me.
We also learned, if you guys caught it, that I think about at least 1 year has passed.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah.
Oh, has it? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, there was a line in there that was like 1 year, or because I think he was talking about it, he got manager in just about a year or something like that.
Yeah.
So we know they've been in
okay.
Tokyo for probably at least a year. Or sorry, I said Tokyo, Japan. I don't know what part they're in.
I forget. I think they actually are in Tokyo.
I think so too.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because they mentioned Shinjuku in an earlier episode. Also, this is the scene to like go back to what you were saying earlier about like Rika interpreting Amelia's feelings towards Mao. This is where she says like, oh yeah, but you're always like putting on a front and being like this and whatever, which is why
She believes that.
she reads it that way and kinda, I think, does the inverse of what you wanted earlier. Where you think this was an excuse to get out of it, but it's also establishing her acting like this is just part of her character and part of who she is as a person.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably me reading way deeper into this anime than it needs to be, but I'm still gonna be hopeful and say that it's another character misreading our hero, and that like, well, you know, like in that.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Yeah, she was like, hey, you put up a front all the time. And I mean, at work, we've seen that she kind of does because she's hiding all these secrets. But I don't think we see that front when she's on screen with us.
I mean, it depends. It's either we don't see the front or you never see beyond the front, right?
Oh, like it's one of those two options.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, there's a couple moments where we clearly see like the conflict in her of like, oh, Mao is actually being nice. And that's like, now I feel weird about this. Like we see moments of her confusion.
Yeah. And I think she's even brought that up to some people, right? Didn't she? Or has she?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, she's definitely called him out on it.
Yeah. Like, why are you being like, 'cause that's why I kind of have it like, I don't see the front. That's why I was kind of like, the writers to say that Riku says that she has a front means that I don't think Riku knows her as well as we know her.
Rika.
God damn it, Final Fantasy.
Kingdom Hearts, thank you.
Is that where it originally came from?
No.
Quit confusing me.
500,000 patrons. Me and Anthony will do a let's play of every single Kingdom Hearts game, followed by a deep dive lore podcast after each game. Get another thing of the SFC manager being creepy. And then they go to report back, or LCL goes to report back to Mao, and he tells him, like, hey, their signature, like, chicken's really, really good. Sometimes you can even eat the bones.
Yeah, that was weird.
And Mao's like,
I'm pretty sure it's not true.
Yeah, Mao's like, I don't think we eat the bones.
And then the group of girls comes in.
Wait, no. LCR also says to Mao, is like, oh, also, what is it? The coffee is organic.
Oh, yeah.
And Mao's like, is it made from ogres?
And he's like, no, from whatever. And he's like,
Oh, he said, like, no, it's free from, like, pesticides and stuff. So it's like,
yeah,
so it's made from pestilent ogres.
pestilent ogres.
So dumb.
I was down, and he wasn't correcting him at all. He was just moving on to the next point.
Yeah, then the girls come in, sit at a table. Amelia tries to order, and Mao is like,
did LCR leave yet?
I guess, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, so he's like, oh, I'm going to help you, Sire. So he's like, I want 2 Big Mac combo meals.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, Lucifer is probably going to complain about this. And Mao's like, well, if Lucifer is going to complain about this, you got my permission to give him a good beating. So funny. Oh, now you can talk about the people.
So the girls come into the restaurant, sit at a table. Amelia tries to order from the table, and Mao is like,
That's not how this works.
you can't do that. You have to come over to the register to order. And they go back and forth for a bit, and then Rika lays into him.
Oh, no, fucking, first of all, imagine being a fucking dick in this part. Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't understand why she's being so mean to Mao.
Dude, unless there's some, like, she was playing that, like, you're not good enough for my friend thing, I did not get any of her hostility.
Yeah.
No, see, I loved it because so far, everyone in this series has been, like, tripping over themselves about how great Mao is. And Rika's like, this guy doesn't seem... He seems like a pretty normal guy, and then he immediately starts bickering with Amelia for... Yeah, she's not being proper, but also, like, she has a point, like, bro, you're supposed to, like, you're not supposed to be a dick to your customers. Just, she already gave you her order. Like, it's not a big deal.
I love how Mao's like, but customers have rules too.
Which, again, Mao's right. Hey, customers, don't be dicks to your service
Yeah,
employees.
yeah, exactly.
But Rika also has a point of Mao's being a dick, and this is her first impression of him. So she doesn't get why this guy's so great, and that's awesome. I appreciate that a lot.
But go on about the fact that she lays into Mao.
No, that was pretty much it. Like, she just like, hey, your service sucks. You're being an asshole. What's going on, dude? What are you doing?
Also, she's like, you guys are slow because of you. Like, she specifically said you. And Mao gets mad. He's like, what? It's so funny. I don't remember what the exchange is, but it's hilarious.
Oh, yeah, I don't fully remember. I kind of remember it, but yeah.
Yeah, because Mao actually gets mad. He's like...
Yeah, because I think she implies, like, oh, you're the manager, your service is slow, so, like, who's to blame for it, I think is the implication.
Yeah,
Or like, a thing of, like, oh, your customer service sucks, and they're really good over at SFC. Eventually, Chiho comes in and diffuses the situation, saying, like, oh, yeah, but she's a valued customer, too. Here's your order. Sorry, Mao's being an asshole. And then Rika slams him again.
I was so confused with that part of the scene. Just like about right after they got done bickering, and then as soon as Rika goes, she's so cute, I was like, what is happening?
Yeah, that was weird.
no, that's the thing in the anime.
I understand cute girls can be cute, but like,
But no, when older woman sees like a very cute girl, they just start touching them. It's a thing. No, it's a thing. Like, it's a thing in anime. I've seen this several times.
I'll take your word on that one. That's not one I'm super familiar with. But yeah, Rika does slam Mao one more time. I forget what she says, but she gives him a lot of attitude, and it's great. And then we move on to Mao formulating his plans to draw people in. His first plan is flyers. That doesn't work. And then I don't see why his next plan didn't work. he decides to advertise that the burgers are boneless. Like, yeah, they're supposed to be though. What?
And then everybody's attracted to Chiho because Chiho's like getting pictures and stuff like that.
Yeah, basically the
She says weird stuff and she's cute. Picture.
Yeah, basically everyone suddenly turns into Rika's reaction
Yeah.
to Chiho. But yeah, then we'll learn a little later that Mao has been volunteering for like community cleanup, which fucking whatever. Come on.
First of all, I'm going to say right now, fuck this guy. Fuck this Mao guy. This guy's the devil on a fucking different universe. How is this guy so good? It's crazy how good he is. He volunteers.
I kind of just eye rolled at that. That sucked. I hated it, dude. It's like, okay, we get it. He's fucking the coolest, nicest guy in the world, despite being the Demon King. So lame.
You cannot stand the two, like these two.
There's no Demon King. It's all Perfect Man.
I disagree. Because we've seen him, like, we see him fight well. We see him command an army well. He's just not, he's being a king. It's the demon part.
Yeah, you see Owens is really good into stereotyping. Once you realize somebody's somebody, he does not let go. So he's like, oh, Mao's the demon. Of course I fucking hate him. He's the demon. No, nothing he can do can change my mind.
No, I know as soon as, like, if he starts, like, destroying people, Chris is like, all right, I'm on board now. But it's just the nice part and the Demon King part Chris has the issue with.
No, it's the part that it's all the nice part. Like, there's no... I guess it's a big part of why I'm, like, so done with Amelia's conflict of, like, there is no conflict.
Yeah.
It's just him being the nicest guy you've ever met all the time. So they come up with the idea for customers can write wishes on paper and attach them to the trees.
And they get a small free drink.
And that brings a bunch of customers, except it doesn't because it's the magic bringing the customers.
And that's the end of the episode.
Well, we do get a shot of Susanoo looking suspicious or malicious or something.
Yeah. She's not happy the fact there's magic being used.
Dude, I forget where I got it. It was probably somewhere in this episode, but I totally picked up on, like, oh yeah, Susanoo was going to develop feelings for him as well. I apparently did not write it down. I probably saw it and was like, fuck this.
Dude, it's a light novel. I don't know what you want from me, dude.
I've seen 2 other anime adapted from light novels, and they don't do this.
Would you like to name them?
Bakano and Hyoka.
I think Bakano's a light novel?
Yep.
Huh. I don't know what the other one is.
It's great. Any more thoughts on episode 9 or this grouping of episodes?
Pretty weak episodes compared to the first 4 that we had. But you're right, though. They're really 2 good bookends. 5 was pretty good, and the latest episode I thought was fantastic. Seeing Mao is doing battle against the other restaurant is hilarious.
Yes, that is what I've wanted this whole time.
Yeah, it's just really funny, this whole thing.
Any closing thoughts?
This one's hard for me to write notes on for 2 reasons. One, this is my first sub. So having to read that and then, like, go down, write up, and they're still talking, I have to look back up, and then, like, okay.
Oh, so you got to get good at writing without looking.
Oh, dude, I have such trash handwriting already.
Dude, so do I.
And also, it's hard for me to... I don't want to keep saying, like, I don't want my notes to be, yes, that was funny. Yes, that was funny.
Yeah.
I mean, because it is funny, but, I mean, and everyone should know it's funny. I just want to make sure that we bring up, like, things that are going to get called back to.
Mm-hmm.
But, no, I'm enjoying myself.
Okay. I don't have much in terms of closing thoughts. More manager, more Recalciel. Give me those and I'm good.
What do you guys think the ending is going to be? Like, because we had the ending last 4 episodes.
I think there's going to be...
On a scale of Game of Thrones to Breaking Bad, I'll probably put it, like, on the side, like, almost...
That's not a very far scale.
What?
Ending of Breaking Bad is trash. We can talk about that later.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my God. This
on
guy.
A scale of 0 to 10 in terms of closure, I think I'm going to get like a 6.5, 7. I think I'm going to get enough to, like, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's not going to be like a, man, fuck that. I think it's going to leave me wanting, but acceptable.
Sure, yeah, I think I totally agree with that. Which brings me to my any hot takes, predictions, wild theories.
Should I go first?
No, because you've seen it.
Okay.
I don't want I don't want lukewarm takes. I don't want obvious predictions. I want hot takes.
Yeah.
I want wild theories. Okay.
Well, one is a lukewarm. Well, my lukewarm take, I'm going to start off with that one, is that we don't know about the landlady till the very last episode. We don't know what she is.
Okay.
And then my hot take is Rika's in on something.
God damn it. Just riding that one, huh?
I think Rika is more than just this.
Dude, Rika is the Hikari of this series.
Who's Hikari?
From Galleon?
Oh, never mind. Yeah.
I don't think I have any hot takes.
That's the one I got.
I had all my hot takes last week.
My hot take is both you guys think this anime is going to be, good. And also, Monkey, you should pick out all the anime because you know what you're doing. That's my hottest take.
I will say you're probably half right with that. We'll be wrapping up Devil's a Part-Timer next week. So rest of the episodes should be 4 more. And I'll be revealing my next pick.
Will Sal ever let us pick again?
No, we're not. All my anime is fantastic.
And will Orange accept the inevitable payoff of Mao being a nice demon king?
It doesn't make any sense. Why? Like, let him kick a puppy or something just once. What will it take for Anthony to trust Rika?
Wait, didn't we do this one already?
Yep. Find out next time on My First Anime. Thanks again for listening to My First Anime. If you enjoy the show, tell your friends and leave a review. It really helps. I'm Chris Bailey, and you can find me on Twitter at Chris R. Bailey or hear me play Pretend on the actualplay.network podcast. And finally, thanks to Slink for the use of 12-speed as our intro and Winnie the Moog for the use of Speed Energy as our outro.
You can come to my stream, ST Monkey at Twitch, where the O is a 0 in Monkey, so make sure you guys remember that. I play single-player games and multiplayer games, well, sometimes multiplayer games, Tuesdays and Fridays afternoons. You can also follow my Twitter at ST Monkey, also O is a 0, and my Instagram. My Instagram is mostly containing dog photos of my dog. He's a poodle. And Shih Tzu.
You can reach out and contact us on Twitter at MyFirstAnime or email at myfirstaнимepodcast@gmail.com. And if you feel so inclined, my personal Twitter and Instagram are both Sir Paperplate, where you will find only pictures of my cat. And once again, thanks for listening to
My First Anime.